So today I want to resurface my flywheel with the sander and hopefully mount up the used steering rack as well. Then I can get the transmission and engine back together, get them ready to drop in. And so let's get started on all of that. Let me just hit it, see what happens. A little bit rust left around the edge here. I'm just going to keep it nice and even. Alright, getting my clutch ready to put on. Just going to put a little bit of this lube in. It's a very small amount there. I want to make sure none that's going to fly out and get on this friction surface. Alright, now I gotta get my clutch and pressure plate ready. Clutch and pressure plate right here. Now, sheeting on this pressure plate could be nicer. Alright, took me about 40 minutes to get that clutch installed. Now it's time to get the transmission ready to mount up. Now as for greasing goes, you want to have some grease on this main shaft. Not a lot at all, just the coating. So I'm going to put some on there, and that bearing is actually going to wipe it off once we put it back on. So just get a nice coating on there, thin coating. Now over here, this ball point that the armature rides on, just glob it on as much as you can get, really. It's not going to be spinning, it'll hold on there. And I'm also going to grease the other end as well. And you do want a tad of grease on the splines, not much at all. So I'm just going to throw a little grease on there, and then actually come back with my clean rag and wipe it off. Because this grease will get thrown all over the clutch surface, and then your clutch will slip. So you definitely do not want that. So just take my clean rag, get the excess out of there just so it's greased but not sloppy with grease. So this throwout bearing is not symmetrical, as in it has this point on one side. Now, that point is going to face in here, so when this locks into place, I will show you, it just prevents it from turning and coming out over these fingers. On this bearing in particular, there is a groove in here which will hold the grease, and it will maintain lubrication on this over time. Now the key is to fill that groove with grease, but to get any excess out of here, because it will just push out and it can end up on the clutch surface. I'm also going to lube these fingers on both sides where they contact the throwout bearing. And of course this ball end where it attaches to the transmission. Get a nice glob of grease in there. Alright, so let me reinstall my throwout bearing. So this pointed end is going to face this side of the transmission. Sometimes you might have to push these fingers down. Alright, so that slides into place, nice and lubricated. I'll just slide this back through here. Alright, so we got that pushed back on. It's moving nice and smooth on here now. Just wipe the little excess off. It's pushed out so it doesn't get on the splines. Should be good to go. Alright, now's the time for me to try to mount up the used transmission with my used engine. Two different cars. Yeah, buddy. Heck yeah, buddy. Ow! Look at that. Greasy fingers. Don't want to touch my GoPro. You see that, y'all? They are smashed. Let's get some bolts in this bad boy. Yeah. Forgot the flex plate. Yay. Alright, let's do it again. Alright, let's try this again with the flex plate. Lines in. Done. Yeah, buddy. All right. Transmission with flex plate. Hold it up. Oh yeah. We're gonna find transmission bolts. I got my engine, my flywheel mounted up. I got a piece of scrap metal here from work so I can practice my welding before I go underneath. Do that plug weld I've been talking about. Pretty successful day though.